Blessed children of the plague, Father. I have wonderful news. Our favorite pupil, Nurgle Snurgle, has decided to bring the podcast Chaos Divided to the garden for a live show. And she is also bringing her co-host, Blushing Noise Marine. Now be polite. I know they are not of the same gods as us, but we must be gracious hosts. Now sit, find a lovely chair, grab a snack from under a rock, and listen to the most beautiful podcast you've ever heard.
Welcome to Chaos Divided, your weekly dose of wholesome hammer. If you're a fan of what we do, we hope you'll subscribe and follow us along. And if you'd like to support us directly, you can find us on patreon.com/Chaos Divided 40K. This week, we're celebrating a feast of knowledge from the Dark Gods as we discuss the new Chaos Codex.
Brand new, not quite on the shelves yet, but up for pre-order, and some have it out there already. Let's hear what it's about. Are you excited?
Well, we gotta go with the quote, and I had to bring the old Angry Dawn out for this one. I am the Archfiend, the despoiler of worlds, and by my hands shall the false emperor fall. And that is Abaddon the Despoiler.
Yeah.
And I think with this codex, some false emperors are going to be falling.
This will be interesting. So, as a fellow player of Chaos Space Marines and Chaos loving individual, I've been a little bit out of the hobby for the past little while, taking a break, and I actually have not kept up with what was coming out of the gate for the new Chaos Marines. So this is all going to be very, very interesting and exciting for me, so I can start plotting in my own head and see, will this new round of Chaos Marines be as exciting as some people are saying?
I think we should start with your boys.
My boys? Which ones? I got lots of boys. I got Black Legion, I got Night Lords, I got Death Guard don't really count. I got Iron Warriors and kind of Alpha Legion.
They're all of those are in there except the Death Guard. So
okay,
I want to get into Night because I feel like 9th edition Night Lords just they didn't have the jus. They didn't have that je ne sais quoi. They didn't have the flavor.
It was flavorful, but the flavor they had didn't work with the way the game worked. The whole leadership and fear thing.
Yeah, so now they have basically the Chaos Knights rule. So if you're below starting strength and you're near any of your units, you have to take a battle shock test at -1. So if they're within 12 inches, -1 battle shock test.
Okay, now from what I remember the way the game works with how objectives are held now, that actually makes, plays a factor. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Well, and you can't use stratagems on battle shocked units.
Yep, no stratagems. They can't qualify for holding objectives. What's the other one?
It's not that they can't hold objectives. There is a few ways to still do it. But you go to OC 0.
Yes, that's it. So
and you typically can't do any of the action stuff, so you can't do cleanse or things
that's
like that.
What it was. Yeah. So no actions. Go to OC 0 for holding objectives, and what did we say?
Yeah, and no stratagems.
Right, no stratagems. That was it.
Yeah, so it's a big deal. So, there's also a few other ways to make that even worse. So Raptors worsen your leadership if you're within range of them. So Night Lords like to generally have a few Raptors out and about anyways.
Yes.
So, if Space Marines are needing to get an 8+ on a leadership test, or Guard and Tau need a 9+, they're going to be pretty battle shocked most of the time.
Yeah, they're going to have a problem. They're going to have a bit of an issue.
Taking Custodes, Space Marines, Eldar from a 60% chance of passing battle shock to a 60% chance of failing it is huge.
That is nice. I do like that.
And you're going to be forcing use of insane bravery.
Well, I've been holding on to Raptors since day one. I've got 40 or 50 of them, so I'm pretty set and ready.
Yeah, so they have a few enhancements. One of them gives you stealth, which is, -1 to hit, which is nice.
That's pretty good.
one that allows you to select a unit that they attacked that they have to take a battle shock test. One of the ones I think is really cool, though, it's for specifically the jump pack Chaos Lord. So you can only go with Raptors. I know we're all a little sad about that.
I'm a little sad about that.
But this enhancement allows you to, at the end of your opponent's turn, pull them up into Strategic Reserve again. So you have a ton more flexibility with Raptors.
Yeah, especially with rapid ingress, being able to fire them up and then use them on your opponent's turn to drop them down and do some shenanigans.
Yeah. And this one's also another fun one. So it's a CP farming enhancement. At the start of your command phase, if the bearer is on the battlefield, roll 1d6, adding 1 to the result for each battle-shocked enemy unit that is on the battlefield. On a 5+, you gain a 1 CP. You're probably pretty easily, by turn 2, getting that up to like a 2-3+. So you're probably just getting 2 CP a turn.
That sounds pretty tasty. I like the flavor of that.
Then for stratagems, it's only 6. But they're pretty tasty. One of them allows you to have your infantry fall back and declare a charge still. So again, Raptors, Warp Talons bouncing around, just ripping things apart, or even Possessed. Possessed are pretty good at that. Not that that's very Night Lordsy, but
yeah, for some it would be. Like, I mean, I've thought about adding a unit of Possessed to my Night Lords army. Just, it's pretty small right now, what I have. I don't want to expand it too much, but just enough that I can, like, actually play a game with them.
This one, it's called Screaming Descent, and it allows you to deep strike one Heretic Astartes jump pack unit within 3 inches of an enemy unit. And if you do it within 6 inches of an infantry or mounted unit, you select one of them, and they have to take a battle shock test. So you can dump them on somebody's back objective, turn off the OC and then just control it.
It's yours. That's really good, especially with the Raptors. You can drop the Lord down with the Raptors and
then pick them back up later.
Yep. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Yum, 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 yum. I see myself making a few Night Lord jump pack Lords. Do we know what the Lords are able to take for weapons yet?
I don't. I think there's a Lightning Claw-ish option, a Cursed Weapons. I think that it's like chosen-y weapons, so like a Power Fist. I don't think they can get a Demon Hammer.
Yeah, probably not. I know that I've seen the box so far. The only thing I've seen was the axe, the pair of Lightning Claws, and the Plasma and Bolt Pistol. So
yeah, I'm
hoping that's not the only options it can take. That could be... that wouldn't be... I wouldn't like that. I want to see some Power Fists and some other stuff on them.
Yeah, I mean, because I think Raptors can take a Power Fist, so I would imagine there's some equivalent of that in there.
That'd be cool. Also, the Lightning Claw, if it's not Lightning Claws and it's just twin Accursed Weapons or some kind of really cool thing, I can see some really, really cool conversions coming up out there. Like, imagine an Emperor's Children Raptor Lord coming down with a pair of really beautiful swords and a really nice ornate jump pack with skin flowing off of them and some chains and jewelry. Just looking like flies all hell.
I know, might have to get some Raptors.
I have some extra jump packs. I have lots of extra jump packs.
There we go. This one's called Bloody Example, and this is probably the most Night Lordsy one. Fight phase just after one of your units has killed a character unit. Every enemy unit within 12 inches and visible to your unit must take a battle shock test. So if you bomb in, kill a character out of a unit, everything around it gets battle shocked.
That's definitely Night Lordsy.
So if you can do that at the beginning of the fight phase, then everything else that's charged doesn't have to worry about stratagems. You don't have to worry about Armor of Contempt. You don't have to worry about anything.
I do have one question. For the new Codex, like, are the detachments actually named after the legions, or are they just like an arbitrary name so any legion can use them?
They're an arbitrary. So this one's called Dread Talons.
I don't like that.
I actually do like it, because I do feel like your paint scheme shouldn't depict your faction.
No, that's fair. I do understand and I agree with the paint scheme shouldn't depict your faction, but I would still like the flavor of you're choosing a Night Lord's detachment, and hey, maybe you're a sub-faction of whatever that joined them, but I don't know, it feels like that, you know, that that personal flavor isn't there like it was before. And I look at the Space Marines, and well, they get that lovely treatment.
No, they don't. They've
They don't?
Salamanders now are the Firestorm detachment. Ultramarines are Gladius detachment. So no, they're kind of moving away from, like, if you read, so the detachment rule, like, it's called Terror Descends. Bedecked in the flayed skins and leering skulls of former victims, their armor flecked with blood and gore, these Reavers descend in a howling gale of enraged screams and soul-piercing shrieks. To look upon their ghastly visages, to feel a terrible and paralyzing fear. That's Night Lords. They just aren't called Night Lords.
Okay, I can get behind that.
And, like, the picture is literally of a Night Lord.
All right, fine. You win, Laura. You win.
But it just means that, like, you know, if you don't have the Night Lords, you know, Legionnaires, then it's okay.
Yeah, I get it. If you're an Iron Warriors player, but you really want to play an Iron Warriors army that's like all jump infantry and that kind of thing, yeah. I get that. That could be. Again, that's fair. That's fair. I get it.
This one is probably the most the most powerful part of the Night Lords. It's a stratagem. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes an attack that targets a unit that is battle shocked and or below half strength, you can reroll the hit and you can reroll the wound roll. That's huge.
Yeah, that is pretty huge, actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some Raptors just like bombing in and rerolling everything. You know, those chain swords are suddenly actually doing something.
Yeah, actually quite threatening. So who else do we have down this line of gloriousness besides the Night Lords? What do we got for the
pick a legion?
Iron Warriors.
Iron Warriors? You mean the Fellhammer Siege Host?
Oh, okay. What do we got for them?
So they have Iron Fortitude now. So each time a ranged attack targets them, if the strength is greater than their toughness, -1 to the wound roll. So you're no longer wounding them in ranged on 2s, ever.
Oh, wow. And if someone comes in with like a big heavy hammer, they're like, whatever.
Right? Oh, we're going to get to some of the scarier things they can do.
Okay, I'm going to be converting some new models soon. Okay, maybe this is starting to, you know, the embers are stirring. There's a little bit of light in the fire.
I'm thinking Terminators are back. Just like across the board, I think Terminators in a lot of these detachments have a ton of play. -1 to wound Terminators, bananas good.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. Like, what do I have? I have at least 10 Terminators for each of the armies I have, so I am hoping they are at least decent, because I love Terminators and I really do want to use them. I got to use them a couple times for our last few editions, especially our so favorite artifact we'd always put on them. I think it was the Black Rune of Damnation.
The Black Rune of Damnation. Oh, that was an auto-include every game.
Yeah, didn't matter. It's like on them. Them are possessed. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, so basically now every part unit in your army has a Black Rune of Damnation. It has like the little... Remember the Mark of Nurgle did this?
Yes.
It's like everything has the Mark of Nurgle from 9th edition.
I think it's actually better. Because in the 9th edition, the way it was worded, it was strange to be like, if they're double your toughness or equal to your toughness, then it was -1 to wound. But it was this weird little gap in between that, like, so if we shoot you with this and this strength weapon, nothing. This actually,
it was like this weird, like you could only wound on 3s or 5s, basically. Because if you wounded on 4s or 2s, you got -1. So yeah, it is better. Here's first enhancement: Chaos Lord can't go on the jump pack 1, but could go on a Terminator Chaos Lord. When a saving throw is failed, you can change the damage characteristic of that attack to 0. Instantly, with the -1 to wound, Terminators, super tough.
Oh, wow. Wait, does he impart that to the whole unit?
Yeah, it's the Bear's unit, and it's once per battle round, but still. So you're not even talking about using a CP reroll yet. You're not talking, and there's also a strat that makes them tougher, and we haven't gotten there yet. There's another enhancement that allows you to deny the benefit of cover. Huge with las cannons.
Is it Chaos Tasty time all of a sudden?
It is
Ooh,
Chaos Tasty
ooh.
time.
Okay, then.
Heretic Astartes model only. Each time the bearer makes an attack while within range of an objective marker, add 1 to the wound roll. Pretty good.
Very, yes.
This is probably the best
agree.
one. I think we're going to see some Chaos Lords with Demon Hammers with this enhancement. The Bear's weapons have the Anti-Vehicle 4+, and Anti-Fortification 4+ abilities. So your Demon Hammer now gives devastating wounds on 4+ against vehicles.
So it's basically a Demon Hammer that's good against light, heavy infantry, and light and heavy vehicles, and fortifications. Wow.
Which, there's not a ton of fortifications out there, but...
Hey, but they're still out there. They're out there. You never know. That one person you meet at the game is going to be like, is that a fortification? Oh, yeah. You're just going to have the biggest grin on your face.
Here's a great and tasty stratagem for anyone who likes to run obliterators. It allows you to add the pistol keyword to their weapons, so they can't be tied up by just chaff.
Oh.
Because when obliterators aren't vehicles, they're infantry, so they can't shoot in combat. But if you give them pistols, then they can shoot their way out of combat. And
yeah, that's pretty neat. I like that.
You don't lose a turn of shooting because somebody charged
So the
Scout
Obliterators,
Marines into your...
Do they still have the rule where they could shoot into another combat?
No, so with the pistols you have to shoot into the combat you're in. But it still just means that, like, for 1 CP, you don't care, your obliterators are just unloading. Or your terminators that somebody tried to tie up, and then they're eligible to charge again.
Yeah, I do like that. That sounds really nice. That sounds good. There's a lot of flexibility you can use with that stratagem. Being able to shoot in combat. Oh.
Mm-hmm. It's any Heretic Astartes unit, so I mean you probably wouldn't use it on vehicles or monsters because they don't need it, but it does allow you to, like...
You're definitely using this on a unit that has the decent amount of firepower, like obviously Terminators, like you said, Obliterators.
Yeah. Havocs?
Havocs, yes, especially Havocs would be very, very good. If you ever get a squad of Havocs tied up, suddenly being able to fire, depending on the weapons. Like if it was a squad of las cannon Havocs, unless I really need those las cannons, I'm probably just going to write them off. But if it's like heavy weapons like heavy bolters or chain cannons or something that can deal with light and heavy infantry, that's a perfect stratagem to use to like clear them out of your way and then keep pushing forward.
Brutal Attrition is very Iron Warriors. So it's any infantry unit that, excluding Damned. So Damned is basically cultists now. Yeah. So all the cultists have the Damned keyword. A lot of stuff doesn't apply to them. So when you're selected to as a target of melee attacks, each time a melee attack is allocated to your unit, after the attacking unit has finished making its attacks, roll 1d6 to a maximum of 6d6 per attacking unit. For each 4+, the attacking unit suffers 1 mortal wound. So you don't even have to lose anything. But you could do mortal wounds because somebody goes into combat with you.
And this is just for the Damned or just squads in general?
It's excluding Damned, so any infantry. So your Terminators get charged by the Avatar of Cain. Well, maybe you do 3 or 4 mortal wounds back to them before you've even fought.
That makes a lot of sense, because like they're not, it's Iron Warriors, they're not going to give up. They just, even in the odds of like absolute defeat, they're still trying to destroy you.
Here is probably one of the grossest ones. Any unit from your army, so just Heretic Astartes except Damned, just gets until the end of the phase, models in your unit have the Feel No Pain 5+ ability. So it's in the shooting phase, so it's after an enemy unit has selected its target. So if something, say you have a Land Raider now that is -1 to wound and has a 5+ Feel No Pain.
I have a squad of Terminators that has that plus the -1 to wound, and
then reduce 1 to 0 damage. You know what I mean?
Oh, good luck moving Iron Warrior Terminators now. Have fun.
just a 10 block of them. Just
any other ability that makes it harder for them to hit or tougher or anything else. They're just going to be like just brick. We don't move. This objective is ours. I don't care. What'd you bring with you? We have BB guns. It doesn't matter.
Right? Like,
that's awesome.
This is what I mean. I think Terminators are back. I think Terminators are in. Terminators are hot.
Yeah, I'm thinking that. Yeah, too. I'm definitely thinking that too.
Here's another one.
Okay.
Start of your opponent's charge phase. 1 Heretic Astartes unit from your army. Until the end of the phase, each time an enemy unit selects your unit as a target of a charge, subtract 2 from the charge roll. So you can also make yourself hard to charge.
So you can cut off their charge, leave them in the open, and have the advantage next turn. That's funny.
That's very Iron Warriors-y.
That's extremely.
It's even
Iron
called
Warriors-y.
Siegecraft, which is beautiful.
Oh yeah. Hey, stay out in the open. We've set like landmines and stuff for these guys as they run across. It's gonna freak them out. Yeah, that's definitely Iron Warsy. Iron Warriors Z.
I think you're gonna see real hardcore Iron Warriors lists come back, and
yeah,
we haven't gotten to it yet. But there's also a Demon Engine detachment, so that is flavored around Vashtor that we'll talk about in a little bit. So this isn't even like your all-encompassing vehicle detachment. This is more like your tanks, your Terminators, your just like dogged determination, unshifting, unyielding, you know, even things like your Legionaries are going to be tough with this.
Oh, I love that. -1 to wound, just regular Legionaries is just chef's kiss.
Yeah, it means you can get shot to hell and then still get there and then just beat something to death. Because there's also they also have if something is below half strength, you can reroll. There's a stratagem to reroll wounds against them too. So when those Terminators get there, they can still beat something to death.
Yeah, even if there's only a couple of my guys left, like we're still gonna rock you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to talk about some of the data sheets, I think, maybe afterwards. But Packbound Zealots, it's the Index detachment. They basically it's officially Word Bearers now.
Okay, Packbound Zealots. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Now going up, pick another Legion.
Well, the only other one that let me see.
There's two more Legion associated ones. One...
the Emperor's Children is not there. They've been removed.
Emperor's Children are not in here.
That makes sense. Okay, so because we covered that last time. So Night Lords covered, Iron Warriors covered. The only other 2 legions I really have that would matter would be the Black Legion or the Alpha Legion.
All right. The Black Legion is now called Veterans of the Long War.
Nice. Their
detachment rule is called Focus of Hatred. Which
sounds hard as F.
It's basically Oath of Moment for Chaos Space Marine. So you pick a unit, everything that attacks it rerolls their hit roll.
Well, we get that too. I like that. That's fun.
So I kind of like that it's not an army rule. It's limited to 1 detachment, but you can kind of have the elite. We are going to be hitting everything we look at. We can just delete a unit every turn.
That's going to make the Black Legion probably a very reliable army from the sounds of it.
Well, and their enhancements kind of go along with that. So we were talking about the Demon Hammer combo earlier. There's one in here too. It's called War Master's Gift. So a Chaos Lord model gets critical wounds on 5+. So again, devastating wounds. Or if you want to do just the Twin Lightning Claws.
Oh, I so want to bring that back.
It's wounding everything on 5-ups.
Bring that back.
So you literally, if you can re-roll your wounds every time on 5-ups, you're actually probably doing a fair bit of damage. There's one that allows you to, if you fall back, you're able to declare a charge in a turn in which you fell back. And if you target your Focus of Hatred, you can add 1 to the hit roll when you attack them, and you get 1 to the charge roll, which is pretty huge. This is what I mean about Terminators are back, because that, to me, reads Terminator. And it's actually, it's Heretic Astartes model only, and we're going to talk about this, I think, a little bit later, but the Sorcerer and Terminator armor has been good this whole time, but it is even better now.
I have 3 of them. I'm so happy. Yay.
And we've got another enhancement for CP generation, and one that allows you to reroll once per turn a hit, a wound, or a saving throw.
Okay, that's pretty good.
If it's cheap, it could be good.
Yeah, only if it's cheap. If it's expensive, that's not worth it at all.
Yeah. their stratagems, they've got some fun ones. One is an interesting one. It's called Black Crusade. So until the end of your turn, your unit is able to shoot in a turn in which it advanced or fell back. And bolt pistols, bolt guns, and combi bolters have devastating wounds. So again, talking about Terminators with a bunch of combi bolters, you throw some dev wounds on there, and it allows them to advance and shoot. But it also works on bikes. So you could have 6 bikers with combi bolters just bombing around, like, you know, actually chipping things, because 6 combi bolters is 24 attacks.
I just keep looking over in my display case going, I have those. Yeah, I got those.
Yeah. This is a fun one. It specifically excludes Tzeentch units. So one of the changes is now the like Slaves to Darkness units. So your Noise Marines, Plague Marines, Rubrics, and Khorne Berserkers now actually get the faction keyword. So they get dark packs when they're in a CSM list. So Khorne Berserkers have sustained hits, for example.
Okay,
so this one does specifically exclude them, because if not, every Black Legion list would have 3 squads of Rubric Marines in it. Because what it does 100%. Is until the end of the phase, ranged weapons equipped by models in your unit have the Ignores Cover ability, and change the attack characteristics of Torrent weapons to 6. But, you know, again, going back to Terminators, you can put a few heavy flamers in there, and you're just like, oh, actually, every gun on this in this unit ignores cover, and also all of these. Here's 18 flamer shots.
I got one better for you. A squad of Plague Marines, because the squad of Plague Marines can have 2 small flamethrowers and 2 large flamethrowers.
Oh, it doesn't exclude Nurgle.
That's right. So you can have that squad. Yeah. That just popped into my brain. I was like, they have flamethrowers. They got some, you missed that, GW. You're in for it now.
I'm even thinking of like Noise Marines, because you'd have a Doom Siren with 6 attacks guaranteed, and then a Blastmaster that ignores cover. Yeah, there's some fun there. There's some fun to be had in that little stratagem, I think.
I like that. Also, just this is a random out of left field question, but I was on the website recently checking out some of the new stuff that the Chaos Marines would be coming out with, and I noticed that GW is selling that Mars Drill and Decimators on their website. So what does that mean for the Codex? Does that mean we're going to get those things?
I don't know.
I would hope so. That'd be nice, because they did say if we can't buy them, we can't use the rules. And then they're on the website, so this is
yeah. But they've also gotten that's kind of faded.
It's faded.
Like the if we sell it, you can play it has kind of faded over time, because they will sell until they run out, not necessarily.
That's fair.
Because you can use it. This is a stratagem. It's called Millennia of Experience. It's probably one of the most powerful stratagems in the game. If something moves within 9 inches of any of your infantry or mounted units, and it isn't within engagement range, you can move them.
Move them or you?
Move you. Like, move your units. So don't want to get charged? Don't.
Oh my god.
Do you want to be charged? Go forward.
Does the strat let you move within engagement range?
No, it's a normal move, so you wouldn't be able to engage.
That's
fair. You wouldn't be able to engagement range.
Oh, that's cheap.
But you would be able to get out of the way, or move block, or just whatever you want to do. Get into cover.
Well, yeah, if there's units that were going to heroically intervene, and the opponent thought, like, well, they're blocked off by this unit, you can just go, actually, no, they're not.
Yeah.
I'm really liking that. That's sick.
Here's another very, very fun one.
Yeah.
This does not have a limitation, so other than excluding damned, so you could use it on basically anything. Until the end of your phase, until the end of the fight phase, if you're in engagement range with your focus of hatred, your unit has the fights first ability. So you just charge into a Mauler Fiend? Nah, it's got fights first.
Oh,
you just charged into Abaddon? Nah.
No. Good luck with that. Wait, so how does that ability activate? That sounds amazing.
So if your focus of hatred charges any of your units, you can...
The focus of hatred was the main ability that the detachment has where you pick...
Yeah, so in your command phase, you pick one of your enemy units to be the focus of hatred. However, there's also a 2 CP strat that when you destroy them, you can pick another one. So you can just be like, hey, that was cute that I blew that up. Now, as long as they're within 12 inches of one of your characters, another unit is now. So say you're like, okay, we're going to make the focus of hatred this war dog because I really need it dead. Okay, that's great. Now I'm going to spend 2 CP. Canis Rex is now the focus of hatred. You were going to charge Abaddon with Canis Rex next turn? Well, I have, multiple ways to get 2 CP, so I'm going to spend another 2 CP, have fights first, and Abaddon is going to shish kebab Canis Rex.
Yeah, and then I'm going to watch you crumble in front of me and slowly lose hope. Oh, that sounds lovely.
And they also have a 1 CP Armor of Contempt, except it's called Contemptuous Disregard, but...
Oh, it sounds wonderful. It sounds so much fun.
It's very Black Legion. It's very, we are going to methodically rip you apart. And I've honestly, talking from, the meta, I have a feeling Veterans of the Long War is probably... It's going to be the first one to get figured out, for sure, and it's going to be very powerful.
Definitely.
I
gotta paint my stuff.
It's a lot of good stuff. Well, see, this is the thing. You don't have to play those Black Legion anymore. You can run Alpha Legion that's just acting like Black Legion.
That is true. I can just mix and match whatever models I want and go, this is my army. It's all Alpha Legion. Deal with it.
And speaking of Alpha Legion...
Well, actually, yes. Let's talk about the Alphas.
They have probably the most fun second most fun detachment in my opinion. Their detachment rule allows you to, in a 2,000 point game, so Strike Force, infiltrate 3 squads of legionaries and 3 cultist mobs. So you could have 90 models in the middle board before the game starts. Actually, sorry, it includes their attached characters too. So you could actually have somewhere around 100 models anywhere 9 inches from your opponent's deployment zone. Do you want to opponent's deployment zone in 60 cultists and just watch the world?
If that doesn't make the back of your shorts heavy, I don't know what is going to. That's a lot of firepower right off the bat in your face. That's reminiscent of 8th edition early on, when Alpha Legion was the king.
Yeah.
Just think about that. The units that you could take in its infantry. Sorry. It's
cultist mobs and legionaries, and any characters as long as they're not epic heroes. So you can have your chaos lords in there. You can have your sorcerers. You can have your cultists with dark apostles if you want.
So the legionaries, you could have each squad have a heavy weapon with a couple other special weapons in the squad, and really go out and do some serious damage turn 1, or even just front of the board,
control the entire board. And we saw some of the new missions coming up. Raising banners is coming back, so if you just turn 1, you raise all 3 banners.
Yep.
Because you're there, you don't care. You're just like, oh, hello, I'm in cover.
Imagine putting some havocs in the middle of the board. Oh, you're within chain gun distance.
Here's another fun one. So there are enhancements. One of them, this is probably the longest enhancement I've ever seen. It's called Falsehood. So you put it on a Chaos Lord model only. So it's specifically like Chaos Lord in Power Armor, not Terminator, not Jump Pack. And you can put it into Strategic Reserves. And if you do, in the reinforcement steps of one of your movement phases, does not say specifically
I think I see where this is going.
You select one model in a friendly legionaries or chosen unit that is on the battlefield, excluding attached units. The selected model is destroyed, and the bearer is set up as close as possible. So basically, you can just be like, actually my Chaos Lord is in this unit, and you destroy
my
one of the
God.
models out of it. You put the Chaos Lord in, and then they go to town.
He's like, guess what? Surprise! It's me.
And if the unit destroyed models within engagement range of those units, the bear now attached to that unit as its leader. So you can do it if it's already in an engagement range too. You can just be like, "Oh, you charged me with your big thing, whatever. Actually, here's a Chaos Lord with a Demon Hammer. Deal with it."
Oh yeah, and he's specifically designed to kill your leader.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The Cursed Fang, improve armor penetration characteristic of the bear's melee weapons by 1, and they have precision, so they can kill leaders out.
Ooh, I like this. Okay.
Another one allows you to turn any infantry model, like any infantry character, into a lone operative with stealth.
Any infantry character. Okay.
So, talking about those Sorcerer Lords in Terminator armor,
Yeah.
that could be fun. And then Soul Link, which is probably the most jank broken thing I've heard of. I'm gonna just have to read this to you. At the start of your command phase, you can select one other Heretic Astartes infantry character model from your army, excluding epic heroes. Until the start of your next command phase, the bearer gains the Psyker keyword and replace the bearer's datasheet abilities with the datasheet's abilities of the character you selected. You want +1 to wound from a Dark Apostle? You got it. On your Chaos Lord. You want the Sorcerer Lord and Terminator armor's ability to give -1 or +1 AP to anything? You just suck it over with your Soul Link.
What?
So you just pick and choose whatever's the most convenient. The jump pack one that allows you to what is that? I can't remember what that one does. Yeah, you do that.
I'm having a moment here, just thinking of what
The Demon Prince's wounds on charge, if you need that, because you're going into the Avatar of Cain.
God,
you can do that.
Beautiful.
What else would you have if you don't have a Chaos Lord and you really need a free strat? Eat that. And
could you do like what's the abilities on the Master of Executions? Could you just take those?
The re-rolling hits and wounds?
Yeah.
If they're, I think, under starting and under half strength. Yeah, so if you just need to finish something off. And you get to pick it every command phase. So you can just keep changing it as it fits you. It also says from your army, not your list. So it's just any character in the CSM Codex. You just swap their abilities across. So that also allows you to put things that they normally wouldn't have access to.
Oh my god, that's wonderful! Oh my goodness, that's gonna get retconned as soon as possible. That's gonna be great. Just
I mean, you can't do epic heroes, so you can't just be like, oh, this Chaos Lord has Abaddon's aura ability, but
I'm sorry, if you're an Alpha Legion player, you need to have your book out, and when that happens, just put a monocle on and go, just one moment, excuse me. Yes, I'm about to fight you here. I'm going to take the reroll hit rolls of everything for this round from this character. Next round. Excuse me, I'm going to... Yes, it's that your armor is +3, well, now you get nothing because I'm going to be a sorcerer now and give them +1 to the AP. There you go, enjoy that. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be hilarious.
Well, yeah, the Master Possession gives you +1 to advances and charges. So if you throw that on a Chaos Lord that's with Chosen, and you need to really bomb them across the table, you can do that now. Well, actually, the Chaos Sorcerer and Terminator armor also gives you re-rolling advances and charges too. So you could actually just have both of those absolutely fantastic abilities, and just be like, oh well, these Chosen with a Chaos Lord who hits like a freight train can also give themselves +1 AP against the thing they're going into, and they also advance and charge and re-roll both of those.
Have fun with that. Enjoy your day.
Be like, oh yeah, I just moved them 20 inches across the table to get to you because I could.
Oh, we're gonna have so much fun. Oh my god, we're gonna have so much fun.
And I haven't gotten to the best the best, the funnest, the gift from the Dark Gods that is the detonator stratagem. So the only requirement is that something that has deadly demise and isn't Titanic is destroyed. If it's within 18 inches of one of your characters, which remember, you can infiltrate your characters, your opponent does not roll to determine whether mortal wounds are inflicted by their model's deadly demise ability. Instead, they're just automatically inflicted. So you pop their Land Raider in the middle of their army, and D6 mortal wounds on turn 1 just like emanate out from it.
Oh my god, I love it. 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 Oh my god, I love it. Just like, we're about to charge. Wait, who's that on the ridge? It appears to be their warlord. What's he holding in his hand? Beep.
Right? It does exclude Titanic, so like you can't do it on like big nights. But I mean, even if you pop a war dog in front of when it's surrounded by 5 other knights, and I don't know, you do 10 mortal wounds.
There's some armies that cluster together, even the large vehicles, like you said. If it's a Land Raider, it's gonna have some reach to it. It's gonna touch some other stuff in the army.
Well, 6 inches from a Land Raider is usually most of a deployment zone.
Yeah, that's very true. So you just want to pick a vehicle that's large enough that it can touch enough and do enough damage to everything. That's sick. They poured it over
1 CP.
Oh,
1 CP.
yes. They had a similar strat where you just made the vehicle automatically explode. That's so much better.
Well, that's what this does.
So well, but now because your warlord needs to be close enough, but it's
not your warlord. It's just a character.
Oh, sorry, yeah, just a character. But now we have so many ways of getting them around. That's amazing.
Yeah, so you just have like there's a character in your legionary squad that is like in the middle of the board. They don't have to have line of sight. They can be in cover.
Yep. Oh,
so they just have to be nearby.
Pull the Raptor Lord out of there, have him drop down with rapid ingress, show up and go with surprise, beat.
Right. No, I think that's going to be situationally, that is going to be beautiful when you need it. You know, you're an Alpha Legion player, you walk up and they're like, I'm going to play the Iron Hands attachment. Look at my 9 dreadnoughts. And you're just like,
yes. I love your 9 dreadnoughts. How close are they? Okay. They're all within a few inches of each other. Excellent. Wonderful.
I think Alpha Legion players will be bringing some good firepower just to take advantage of that so that you can pop stuff. But yeah. We've got a shoot on a turn you fell back. Again, huge for like obliterators.
Obliterators, Havocs. I have those already with the army. What else? A couple of the actual vehicles would be decent.
We again have the normal move of up to 6 inches if something comes near you. So again, you infiltrated everything. You're like, actually, you know what? I'm not ready to lose this unit yet. Boop. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Nope, you're not getting that charge. Sorry.
This one's a little more situational, but it's also fun. You pick a unit from your army, and nothing can deep strike within 12 inches of it.
That's great.
Awesome. So if you just like, if they have the like Space Marines have the plasma, what are they called, intercessors or whatever, that can come within 3 inches. You're just like, nah, I don't want to deal with that right now. Goodbye.
I mean, it's also can be used as a blockout tactic, because if you know that your opponent has a lot of deep striking ability and they can use rapid ingress, you can put your units out in the middle of the board beginning of the game or at any point in time and drop that immediately and then go, yep, guess what? You can't deep strike in my backfield. You can't deep strike in the middle field. You're going to have to wait another turn. Oh, look, you have to wait another turn. The unit's now destroyed.
Or you put it somewhere useless. And
exactly.
It might as well be destroyed. Yeah. From all sides, very Alpha Legion. Until the end of the phase, add 1 to charge rolls made for your unit for each other unit that's successfully made. Actually, it just says that made a charge move this phase, so I guess you'd have to succeed in order to make the charge move. To a maximum of +3. So if you want to deep strike something 9 inches away, and then charge a bunch of other things in, this thing now gets +3, so now you only need a 6-up.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Again, Terminator.
That's pretty... Again, yeah.
One thing I don't have is Alpha Legion Terminators. That's going to change.
Now, who else, when you think of Chaos Space Marine factions, who else do you think of?
Well, immediately the ones that pop into my head that I feel should be in the Codex would be Fabius Bile, uh, Huron Blackheart, and Vashtor.
So there is Vashtor. Fabius Bile is not in here. So he's
Okay.
probably going into the Emperor's Children. I think he's still in he's in the CSM Codex, but he didn't get a detachment.
That makes sense, because he's probably going to rejoin the Legion as some kind of weird new character thing.
But the Renegade Raiders are the Red Corsairs, and this is probably the one I am the most excited for. So all of your models get the assault keyword for all of their guns, so everything can advance and shoot. Everything.
That's
Obliterators.
Oh, wow. Okay, continue.
It is a go-fast list.
Okay, I'm liking this.
And if you target something on an objective marker, you improve the armor penetration by 1. AP4 las cannons, AP5 las cannons with the sorcerer.
I suddenly want to do a bunch of Red Corsairs now. Damn, that's nice.
There's a CP regen one. A lot of this is based on being near or in your enemy's deployment zone. So we have you can re-roll the hit roll and the wound roll if you're wholly within 12 inches of your opponent's deployment zone. So basically, if you're in the mid-board and up.
Well, I mean, the whole idea of them, it sounds like, is they want to get across the board. If they're giving you all assault weapons, they want you to be able to move, advance, and shoot, and potentially charge.
So something like a Demon Prince, re-rolling all of their hits and wounds.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to fly, I'm now going to advance, and then I'm going to still... The arm cannon they have is actually pretty decent from what I understand.
This is the moment I realized Terminators were back, is when I read this enhancement.
Okay.
Heretic Astartes model only. Models in the Bears unit have the Scout's 6 inches ability. So talking about a Sorcerer and Terminator armor, you give them this enhancement. Your 10 block of Terminators, Scout's 6 inches. And if you don't think this detachment has a advance and charge ability, it do. So, and again, you can re-roll your advances and charges. There's also one that just allows you to, it's Honor the Prince. You just change your advance roll to a 6.
What?
So, yeah, it's called Warp Charge Engines. You can use it on transport or mounted. So you can make a Land Raider move 16 inches, just guaranteed. Boom, bam, deal with it. And it has assault guns, so all those las cannons still shoot.
I'm a little speechless because this is pretty freaking awesome.
But no, with the reroll, so the sorcerer gives you rerolling advances and charges. So your Terminators are probably on average able to move in their turn 8 to 9 inches. But if they're starting 6 inches, so you're 15 inches into the board already, and then they're rerolling charges. There's deployment zones that are only 18 inches apart. So you need a 3-up charge to get into their deployment zone.
I'm not
with 10 Terminators.
I am probably going to try the Renegades immediately because that sounds
so much fun.
That tickles every right spot. That sounds glorious. Just a group of Terminators marching across the battlefield, the most terrifying thing you've seen, and they're moving. It's like, wait, are they running? No, they're sprinting. Terminators sprinting at you, like that's terrifying. That is horrifying.
And they're also still able to shoot their combi weapons, so they're just like annihilating an infantry unit as they then charge in.
They're all wearing Tartarus pattern Terminator armor, just moving at top speed.
Well, and if you're on an objective marker and with the sorcerers, it's also 10 Terminators with power fists at AP4. Bye-bye Knights. Bye-bye Lehman Russ. Bye-bye Rogaldorn.
Bye-bye whatever you want. I love Terminators now. Oh my god, I love Terminators. Holy crap, I love Terminators.
Because you know what else this detachment gets? They also get the Armor of Contempt 1. So for 1 CP, worse. So if you put them into cover, you got to hit AP3 before you shift them from their 2-up save.
Oh my god. Do we know any of the abilities that the characters have? Like, I'd like to know what Huron Blackheart could do to buff anything up with that. That sound... Oh my... Damn, this sounds great.
We'll pull them up afterwards.
If I just don't care someday, I just feel like, yeah, Renegades, grab whatever I want on the shelf. It's an excuse. Just whatever paint scheme mishmash I want.
Well, you could have... Yeah, you now have... Yeah, 3... you have Huron Blackheart. Well, I think he used... I'll have to go check, but he used to do mortal wounds on the charge.
Yeah, he did something like that.
So the other things you get, in the fight phase, you can give your entire unit precision.
Okay.
Yep.
Damn.
So this is also... So one Heretic Astartes that came out, disembarked from a transport. Until the end of the fight phase... if the target is within range of an objective marker, you can reroll the hit wound and reroll the wound roll. So Possessed with Devastating Wounds, rerolling all their hits and wounds coming out of a Land Raider, pretty tasty. Terminator's doing it, also pretty tasty. We've also got until the end of the phase, your unit is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced. And that's not all. There's more. There's another sentence after this. If you select one or more units that is within range of an objective marker, you add 1 to the charge roll. So your Terminators, you're bombing across the field, or your bikes, or your whatever, because you can use this on mounted as well.
Oh my lord.
So you could advance and charge your bikes, so they're moving, I don't know, 15 inches across the board, and then you give them +1 to their charges.
I'm kind of blown away a little bit right now, because this is... You know it's the feeling of like getting kicked while you're down for a while, and then someone brings you over a slice of cake, and you're expecting it to be freaking full of poison or something, but it's not. This isn't
a slice of cake, Jared. This isn't even the whole damn cake. So you know the fancy, like in a fancy restaurant when they have like the dessert cart.
Yeah.
They wheel over and they're just like, "What would you like? How are you feeling?" And you're like, "I can't possibly make a choice."
Every Chaos Marine player in there that's been abused by GW for years is like, "What's the catch?"
Right. I heard somebody
really
describe it as
is it
it's this CSM Codex is buy one get one free. Like
yeah.
There's so many, like, you get this and also this.
Wow.
And this is, yeah, again, we were talking about this earlier. At the end of the fight phase, one Heretic Astartes unit from your army that was eligible to fight this phase, it can make a normal move of up to 6 inches, or up to 12 if it's mounted. Or you can make a fallback move, and if you end it within range of a transport, you can embark within it, as long as you didn't disembark from a transport that turn. So, you know, say your Terminators you bombed across the field they're getting a little ragged now, and you're worried about the counter, you know, the smack back.
Yeah.
Well, just jump them back into the Land Raider that you've, you know, advanced up behind with them. And they're just like, you're like, "Oh, well, I'm going to kill your Terminators next turn." And you're like, "Are you?"
No, you ain't.
Zoop, zoop, zoop. And they just jump back in the assault ramp, ready to
inside.
go.
Cracking me out of my eggshell now, son.
Right? And then they just come back out the next turn.
That's amazing.
They go like, "Oh, I got all these anti-infantry guns," and you're like, "I have a tough 12 Land Raiders sitting in front of you."
I'm weirdly excited again for Chaos Space Marines. I have this like fire now building up inside of me. Damn it, GW! Why do you have to suck me back in?
One is a cultist one. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't play cultists enough to really get it.
I literally when they first came out with the cultist box from Dark Vengeance, I begged, pleaded, searched, and found as many of those little tiny boxes as I could. So what is it now? I think I have at least 160 cultists.
Okay, you know what? We'll talk about it then.
Maybe less.
We'll talk about.
Let's say like 100 to 120. Let's say that. Let's say like rough guesstimate.
Well, how would you feel if they were +1 to wound, strength 5, 3 attack cultists?
Do continue.
Let me see if I can find that.
I just realized something else. Frickin' Lord.
That all of these vehicle things we were talking about with the Iron Warriors things still work on the Khorne Lord of Skulls.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they do. You remember talking about the 5-up Feel No Pain on a vehicle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Khorne Lord of Skulls, tough 13, 5-up Involn.
I have one. Oh, I gotta paint so much now.
So your cultists get their thing is they get basically another additional way to Dark Pact.
Okay.
So this is all built around damned models. So remember everything else excluded damned? This is all about damned.
Just damned, okay.
So you take a leadership test. If you fail, you suffer D3 wounds. But you do this when you make a normal move, advance, or charge, and you add 2 to the. Basically, you add 2 to your movement.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got you can reroll advance and charge rolls for the bearers unit. We've got restored D3 destroyed damned models. So you can do that with a cursed cultist and bring back the big ones if you wanted to.
Yes.
We've got while that unit is below half strength, add 1 to the attacks characteristics of those weapons, and if they're below their starting strength, add 1 to the strength.
Okay, that's not too bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So these are also on you can put these on 20 blocks of cultists, and again, Dark Apostles give +1 to wound, and they also still have Dark Packs, so you can give them lethal hits if you want to.
I'm seeing something fun for the Alpha Legion popping up. How about a Zealot charge?
You can declare a charge the turn in which it advanced.
Oh my god, that would be so Alpha Legion. You just take as many cultists as you can, give them all this upgrade, put some Dark Apostles and Communions in there, and it's just like the Alpha Legion has sent only a couple of Alpha Legionnaires to rile up the population, and they're charging somebody. That sounds thematically amazing.
So this is how you get to your Strength 5 cultists.
Yep.
It's called Crazed Focus. So if you have the ones that they've lost, they're below starting strength. You can improve the armor penetration, and if they pass a Desperate Pact, which is the D3 mortals, then you improve the strength characteristic by 1 as well. So you'd have, I don't know, what is 40 cultists with what is that? 40 attacks, it's strength 5 minus 1 damage with lethal hits or sustained hits.
I'll take the lethal hit. Oh, wow.
Well, depend. What if you're going to a 20 block of guardsmen? You don't care about lethals.
Yeah,
that
is very true. Either way, wow, that's great.
Yeah. A lot of this is around Desperate Packs, so you're losing a lot of cultists.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know if there's a way to bring them back, though.
Not really. I mean, unless they gave us some new stratagem that brings them back, that would be lovely.
I don't think there is. So, you probably want the character that heals them back. You probably want a Cursed Cultist because they come back. I think they still do that.
Yeah, they have a new ability, but yeah, they might still come back, I hope.
Yeah, so you can just be bombing cultists around. I believe this also works on the Traitor Guardsman squads too.
That's cool. That's really cool. Because then you have Traitor Guardsmen, cultists, accursed cultists, and I think the Beastmen count towards the accursed as well, or the damned.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
That would be cool.
Now Vashtor's detachment is called the Soul Forged War Pack.
Ooh, okay.
So their detachment rule is debt to the Soul Forge. So each time one of your demon vehicles makes a Dark Pact, if you can invoke the contract, you subtract 1 from the resulting leadership, so you're more likely to hurt yourself.
Okay.
But if you're making a ranged attack, you add 1 to the wound roll, and if you're making a melee attack, you add 2 to the attack characteristics of melee weapons equipped by models in this unit.
Okay.
So you're either +1 to wound. So again, your big guns can now be wounding on 2s, and because CSM does not have any strength 20 guns, or +2 attacks characteristic of melee weapons. So if you have something with, say, extra attacks, that would apply to all of those as well.
Wow. Okay.
So a Mauler Fiend with the tendrils.
Oh yeah. Ooh, venom crawlers. Ooh. Ooh,
Yeah.
those are good again.
Actually, adding 1 to the wound roll to 12 shots from a venom crawler.
Because
You're
like
now wounding.
venom crawlers, if they keep the ability where when they kill something, they add +1 to their attack characteristics for their shooting.
It's now only in melee.
Only
they
in
have
melee?
to kill it
That's
in
fine.
melee.
That's fine. I'm cool with that.
It's a bit of a downgrade. And honestly, talking about downgrades, Dark Packs got nerfed.
Oh really?
You do it before you attack now. So if you take damage, you potentially lose efficacy before you've even used it.
That's
Yeah. For enhancements, we got add 4 inches to a Warpsmith's move characteristic.
okay. That's good.
One of their difficulties is they're so slow.
Now they can move really fast. I like that.
So this one is a tempting addendum. So each time your demon vehicle, anytime a demon vehicle within 3 inches of the bearer, so you'd presumably put it on a Warpsmith,
Right.
it suffers 1 or more mortal wounds as a result of that Dark Pact. Add 1 to the number of mortal wounds it suffers. So instead of going from D3 or D3 plus 1 when you fail a Dark Pact. But until the end of the phase, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, you can re-roll the hit roll, which is pretty huge on, say, a block of Forge Fiends.
Yeah,
because you could do it to each of them.
Yeah, and I actually have that many paints in the Black Legion colors, so that sounds great.
We've got select a Heretic Astartes vehicles within 12 inches of the bearer. It has the Feel No Plane 6+ ability, and you do it each command phase, so that's quite useful. And then we have a CP farming. So for stratagems, we have Demonic Possession. You can add the demon keyword to a vehicle. So if you want to do any of this fancy other stuff that we've been talking about, you can just add it to... Yeah.
Take a Land Raider or a Vindicator or something and make it a demon. That's also some conversion ideas out there for people. That'd be really cool as well.
We have the normal 6-inch move for any vehicle. If something moves within 9 inches of it, again, huge.
It moves away, nice.
Yeah, we've also got your opponent's move phase when an enemy unit is selected to fall back. So excluding monsters and vehicles. So you select one of your demon vehicles. Until the end of the phase, each time an enemy unit that is within engagement range of your unit falls back, all models in that enemy unit must take a Desperate Escape test. When doing so, if that enemy unit is battle shocked, subtract 1 from each of those tests.
Wow.
So if they're battle shocked, you can push them up to only surviving on a 4+, or they need to make a 3+ to not die.
Jesus.
Because they want to fall back from you, presumably because you're going to murder them with your vehicle.
Yeah, and the vehicles are terrifying demons.
Unstoppable Rampage. This is familiar to maybe some Chaos Knights players. Until the end of the phase, each time your unit makes a normal advance or charge move, it can move horizontally through terrain features as if they were not there.
Well, damn.
And that's just a Heretic Astartes vehicle, so a Khorne Lord of Skulls that isn't impeded by terrain.
I'm just imagining that. I'm just imagining that in my head. This thing just hits the wall and they go, guys, we're safe. And it just does the freaking the walk up the wall. Spider-Man.
You say walk up the wall. It doesn't have legs. It has tracks. So it just like goes completely horizontal and goes back down the other side.
Yeah. Either that or you just see it like go and leaps over it like some kind of weird Mario jump.
But yeah, so your Mauler Fiends, your Defilers, which actually I was looking at Defilers earlier.
Actually, Defilers, they already have... No, wait, Defiler. Yeah, they already have that ability, I think.
They can only move over if it's under 4 inches.
Ooh, okay.
But I think there's going to be another reason why people bring Defilers again. So your Defilers, your Mauler Fiends, your Khorne Lord of Skulls.
Yeah.
Because here's another thing that you can do with it. So one Heretic Astartes demon vehicle, excluding Titanic, so it wouldn't work on the Khorne Lord of Skulls.
That's fair.
But until the end of your phase, if your unit invokes its contract, each time it makes an attack that destroys an enemy model, roll 1d6. On a 5-up, you regain 1 lost wound. Up to 6 wounds.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you're able to heal your vehicles, and this is a clearly intended for a Warpsmith heavy army anyways. So you
Yeah,
are
it sounds
pretty
like it.
unshiftable.
I love that, especially with Defilers, because I've always loved demon engines. I think I have almost 3 of every single one of them, except for
Mhm.
Helldrakes, because I like them, but I'm not a super Helldrake fan. But yeah, that would be amazing to be able to use that. Oh my goodness, I have so many ideas popping into my head right now. It's just like pop, 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 pop.
You also get Desperate Pledge, so until the end of the phase, if your unit invokes its contract, you also get +1 to your armor penetration. So again, Mauler Fiend's going up to AP3.
Forge Fiends up to AP3. Or no,
wouldn't that be AP4? Because you can do it into the shooting phase too. So yeah, their plasma going up to AP4.
Their Hades autocannons are now actually viable to use again.
Yeah. So that's pretty. That's a lot of oomph. That's a lot of oomph.
That is cool.
Wow. And what I was going to say about Defilers is they added another ability to them.
Let's hear it. What do they do?
They also now get Heroic Intervention for free. So they can move. So they kept the moving through terrain pieces and being able to move over your friendly vehicles and monsters.
Yes.
But Defilers can now, if something charges within 6 inches of them, they just can.
And with
for
that
0 CP.
And with that ability to climb over stuff, you can't stop them. They can just get you from anywhere. You're not safe.
Yeah, so in this, they're even scarier. But I mean, a Defiler's a strength 16 -3 D6 +1 monster of a vehicle, anyways.
See, I knew there was a reason why I held on to all the Defilers I had, because I knew someday they would be just terrifying again.
Well, and you can also use it if something else has already done it. So you can only get it for 0 CP, but you could say use Desperate Escape anyways, and then also still bring in the Defiler.
Yeah. This is great. This is great.
No, there's a few nerfs throughout from what I've seen. There's the kind of some tightening up of some things. There's some stuff that's just lost a little bit. Nothing terrible, but I think a lot of it gets made up for in the detachment abilities, because they're good. All of them have play. None of them are the cultist one. I'm I don't know if I would play it, but
I think I would.
The
cultist one sounds great. I've always loved cultists, and kind of the idea of an army of people being led by a few Chaos Space Marines, kind of goading them into a fight. It seems very thematic and the first stages of an assault. I mean, for a narrative game, I can see myself using every single one of the detachments in a narrative game based off of how the victories go. This sounds fun, super, super fun.
Also, Abaddon doesn't go with Legionaries anymore. He goes with Chosen. So never forget, if you're wow, this enhancement's really good, I wish Abaddon could take it. Just put a Master of Executions with your Chosen. Give it to the Master of... So if you want Abaddon to have Scout 6, do it. You want whatever it is. You want to use Soul Link with the Alpha Legion one so that Abaddon can have free strats in his unit.
Oh my God.
Do it.
God damn it! This is, oh my fuck, that's so good. Also, side note, super psyched about that they finally changed that crap. Putting him in having him in a legionary squad for so long was just why would he do that? Chosen makes so much more sense.
Well, because 10 Chosen now, because you can still give them the 4-up invuln from Abaddon, they actually can survive getting across the table.
Yep, and now their abilities make sense. I'm gonna paint my Chosen. Oh wow.
Here's Huron Blackheart. So we've got add 1 to the OC of models in that unit. I think he can only go with. Wait. He goes with Chosen and Legionaries now.
So both. Wait, what about Terminators?
Well, no, he used to go with Raptors.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he goes with Chosen and Legionaries now. Huron Blackheart.
Oh, Huron Blackheart. Okay, that's good. That's good. I like that, because originally it was just Legionaries. And
Yeah, he gives you redeployment now, and
Abaddon still is Terminators, Legionaries, and Chosen now?
no, he lost Legionaries.
That's fine. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
It doesn't make
I
any
think
sense.
that's
Like, why would
very
he hang
reasonable.
out with Legionaries? Like,
Yeah.
that just sounds like Dad hanging out with his kids just because.
Right? But no, I think there's a ton of fun stuff, like or even the yeah.
There's a lot
There's
here.
just so much. There's so much good stuff there.
I'm now contemplating just paying the subscription for the app so I don't have to buy the actual copy of the book. Although, like, then again, I do.
No, you do have to.
I do have to.
You have to get the code inside to unlock it in your app.
What? No, I thought if you paid for the subscription, you just got them all.
I don't think so.
Oh, that's horse. Wait, no.
Maybe I don't. It's so hard to get it signed up for in Canada.
Yeah.
There's like some issue that they haven't resolved.
Because I thought you
still had to buy the Codex.
I'd rather pay $70 a year for all the information than $70 per book that I want to use.
No, that's fair, but I think you still have to buy the Codex.
I really hope we don't.
But yeah, no, I think overall this is a pretty I think this is going to be a pretty fun Codex to play with.
Maybe I'll jump back in and try this.
Well, if you noticed, actually talking, I know where I was intending to mention this earlier. I've started adapting old missions into 10th edition on the Patreon.
Ooh.
So
I like it.
What's it called? First one I did was Evacuation.
So
I took the one we talked about before and adapted it into 10th edition. And yeah, I'm hoping people will try it out. Let us know how it goes. See how it works.
Please, guys, try it. Let us know what it's like. I want to hear what people think of that. That sounds amazing.
I even figured out how to adapt the old Deep Strike rules without a scatter die.
Sick.
Came up with a system for that. So you can, so you have unreliable deep strike with it. There's some devastating wounds because of the narrative of the mission. Yeah, and it's all about. And I even adapted it to score how 10th edition scores.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
I want to try this.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to change a few things just to make the actually function because that was from 5th edition where picking a single model out was actually very difficult. You couldn't just shoot at whatever you wanted to. You had to shoot at the thing closest to you.
Yeah.
So I had to your model that is your I've called them the dignitary. They stand back up. And it gets harder and harder to stand them back up just so that the defender has a chance because yeah, as it stands right now, even giving them lone operative, all it takes is like, I don't know, even some like bikers would be able to just go in and blast them to death. So
exactly,
I had to give the defender a chance. But it was a lot of fun and I'm going to keep doing it. And I think,
I like,
as we've seen more codexes, I know not everyone's thrilled about their codex, but the flavor is there, and I think that is what we all need right now. Because, yeah, I looking through this, I was excited for Warhammer looking at this codex because I'm just not because I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so powerful, just like this is gonna be so fun.
Yeah. If I'm having fun with the game, then maybe I can look past a lot of the stuff. That's the way I'm looking at this right now. If this codex gives me the fun and excitement that I had from other editions with my Chaos Space Marines, then I can look past all the weird rules and the stuff that GW's done with everything and just play the game itself for funsies. Yeah. That'd be great. I would love that.
Well, and we've now had a bit of a leak of the new chapter approved, and it looks a lot of fun.
Okay.
They're introducing secret missions. So you know how the gambits work now?
Yeah.
They're basically changing that so that you, if you decide to, you can take on the secret mission. There's 4 of them. So one of them is you have to get your warlord onto your enemy's deployment zone objective. Okay. The other one is you have to have one of your battle line units in your enemy's deployment zone, and your enemies either have to be within their deployment zone or not on the board at all.
That's kind of cool. Keeping a secret mission, yeah.
Yeah, so it stops you from scoring primary points, but it's worth 20 points if you can pull it off. So it actually is kind of one of those like, and because it's secret, your opponent doesn't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it allows you to at the very least like stay within a game.
I like that because if your opponent knows what all your missions are, they can kind of deny them along the way. That is interesting because then it's a secret mission you can keep. They don't know when you're actually going to score what it is. That could tip the balance. That could tip the balance in Sabila's favor. I actually really like that.
And what I really like, it's all built around battle line. A lot of it's built around battle line. So if you don't bring any battle line units, that battle line one, super easy. You get a squad of noise marines with your Emperor's Children. You get a squad of, intercessors or guardsmen into the enemy deployment zone. That's not super difficult. You score 20 points, and you don't even have to think about it because you're... And honestly, like, talking about Custodes will able to do that every game.
Yeah.
Because their entire army is battle line.
Yeah, and there's some
half of it
fast battle line units. Like, also, are Raptors still fast attack, or they made them troop choices yet, or anything like that? That'd be lovely.
Well, it's all gone now. It's just battle line and not battle line.
Are they battle line?
No.
Okay.
No, but still, even like, you have a Rhino with...
I just want to have an entire army of Raptors. That's all I really want in life.
I mean, you could do 3 10 blocks of Raptors, 3 10 blocks of Warp Talons. You'd have 3 of the Chaos Lords for the Raptors. And, some bikes. And...
forget the bikes. More Raptors.
You won't be able to kill anything, but you'd be very fast.
I like to believe you could kill things with that.
I mean, lethal hits eventually will kill things, but...
Eventually.
You just
it's more the fear and presence of it's like, we're terrifying. We're not going to do anything, but we're terrifying.
I'm like, Jared, are you going to roll the boom? Be like, no, I just lethal hits. If I don't roll 6s, I don't care.
Yeah. Since all I need is 6s. That's it. Power fist,
strength 4,
I'll be fine.
I don't care. It's not going to work. Just lethal hits. I only lethal hits.
Lethal hits. Just every Raptor's hitting you going, lethal, 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 lethal,
right.
Lethal. Like, what are you saying lethal? No, lethal, lethal.
The, like, Leave Rust tank commander's just like, oi! What you talk about out there? And they're just like, lethal, lethal. And they're just like, as their chain swords tink off
Don't
of the
hit
metal.
my tank. Lethal, lethal, lethal. Actually scores a lethal hit. They go, hey! Back to it.
And the Leave Rust explodes.
Yeah, exactly. It blows up. They move on to the next one.
But yeah, you know what? If you're feeling like playing a game of Warhammer, that means this Codex has done something right.
Yeah, that's saying something with me because I've been pretty, just since 10th started, I've just been like, nah. So, yeah.
Break out the old Black Legion, find your focus of hatred, and just blast it into oblivion.
Yeah, I think that'll be nice. I'll try it out. It'll be fun.
Or some Alpha Legion, just absolute shenanigans. The fact that Alpha Legion is just shenanigans is perfect.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying that.
You're like, oh, this is what you thought the board state was? No. Wrong. 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 Wrong.
Hey, this is just excuses now to paint a whole bunch of new stuff, because I haven't touched any Warhammer models in quite some time. So yeah, this will get the juices flowing, get me on the table, and maybe try a game out and see exactly how they feel. I'm not happy about the price of the books, but we'll discuss that a different time. $70 for a book.
I know. It's a little much.
Yeah, it's a little. I mean, like, realistically, what are you paying for? We're paying for most of the art. Well, I don't need the art now. I just want the rules so I can play the game.
I mean, you want the art, though. Okay.
I do, but I
usually actually has some pretty good art.
You can't do that. Just don't let them know that you want the art. Of course, I want the art, but it's a matter of principle.
And you want the lore.
It's a matter of principle. I said that about the World Eaters book, and now it's just literally a paperweight on my shelf. It's like, read the lore. I don't give a damn about the lore because I can't use the book.
Fair.
It was very. It was
Really, the first World Eaters Codex, you didn't read the like lore out of it?
No, I read it quickly, but I never got to play a game with it because I was so rapidly trying to get the models painted and built and ready to go. By the time I got it done, I was like, cool. Angron is painted. I have some stuff on bases. You know what? Maybe this one time I'll be like, I'll play a game, and I don't need the army to be painted. No sooner did I think about that, it's like, hey, indexes are out. And it burned me so much. It just burned so bad. They got me with the exact same thing as last time when they let the Khorne Bloodbound out and they changed to 8th edition, I think. So it was a little more personal than it probably should have been, but that's definitely what made me just go, you know what? No, didn't even get to use my favorite guys. No. So.
Well, now you can bring the Khorne Berserkers with your CSM lists.
That's very true, and I will.
And just have them do absolute work, because
the Marines and Noise Marines too, they'll all be great for what they can do.
Honestly, Khorne Berserkers with say Fight First, for example, would be very nasty. Giving them +1 AP in a lot of it, rerolling hits and they're going to be better. Khorne Berserkers are going to be better in CSM detachments than they are in the current one.
GW's going to really have to change the rules on them if they want to make them actually viable. And they already have the built-in free 6-inch move, so you have that already moving forward.
Oh.
Iron Warrior, no way, Berserkers! Iron Warrior Berserkers!
Oh, with the -1 to wound?
Alpha Legion Berserkers! I'm painting those up right now!
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Oh, that's something I've always wanted. I literally have an Alpha Legion painted Berserker, and I was like, I want this to be viable. Like, I want to be able to use them, but it wouldn't be able to be possible. Now it's possible.
Oh, and there's definitely some synergy in there with them. Oh, I'm just thinking, or the fast one, or actually, honestly, okay, you pick them to move because something moved near them, and then something shoots them, so you just move them as close as you can with the movement.
Yep.
And then something shoots them, and you just throw them into engagement range with them.
I love it.
They're like, oh.
If only you could do the infiltrate thing with the Alpha Legion and put them in the middle of the board. Be like, here's 3 units of Berserkers. Go ahead, shoot them. Do it. I fucking dare you.
That would be a little too much.
It's just enough.
That'd be hilarious though. But yeah,
just enough.
Oh no, there's a lot of good stuff you can do with 10 Berserkers.
I have like so many extra old Berserkers from like the older editions that now I just have an excuse to paint them up in the different Legion colors. Iron Warrior colors, Alpha Legion colors. I mean, really anything that I really want. Hell, I'll do some Black Legion ones too. Why not?
I am Khorne Farius.
Yes, Khorne Farius. Now, there's one thing I'm really hoping for that they bring back is the Terminator Lords for the World Eaters. If you're listening to GW, please bring them back. Please.
I have a feeling Red Butchers must be coming when they get a revamp.
Something has to become.
Not a revamp, but because what they seem to have done is they release half of a faction and then they release the other half the next edition.
That's true.
I would imagine the World Eaters Codex is going to come with like the Tau. Tau got like a whole Kroot refresh. They got like the Kroot box that had the Codex in it. It had all those new models. I have a feeling
I hope
Votan's going to get one. Well, and on the CSM got 2. Like, those are pretty beefy boxes they got.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff.
So I think World Eaters are probably going to get like the fancy new army box that's going to have actual Red Butcher models. It's going to have a Chaos Lord in Terminator armor. Honestly, World Eaters need some kind of a like Dark Apostle too. They need like a chaplain.
Yeah, they do. They really do. They helped us before so much, and then when they took us away, it kind of took away a lot of the power of the World Eaters. They need some form of a priest/psyker thing, like just as an example.
Well, it wouldn't be a psyker. That's pretty.
No, that's fair. But think of like Age of Sigmar. They have that one model called the Blood Priest, so it's very similar to an apostle, but it's also kind of like a sorcerer in the way that it makes a prayer. If it's successful, some weird magical thing happens, like the enemy's blood boils, or you take control and pull them towards you. I would like to see a form of an apostle and a priest who is like a psyker for them. So you have the apostle who joins in and buffs up, say, the jackals or whatever other like fast units they want to give that buff to. Maybe even berserkers.
Well, even like something like like the sorcerer in Terminator armor does, like the rerolling advances and charges.
Exactly,
like just something that gives them like the kind of your warp time ability.
Makes literally a prayer or enacts in a ritual or something for Khorne, and it does something and boosts the squads up, or just anything like that. Khorne may not have sorcerers, but I know he has blood rituals.
And this is kind of the thing. I think there's a lot of that like flavor missing from World Leaders right now.
Oh, there's extremely.
Or even something that went with 8-bound. What goes with 8-bound?
The Juggerlords. That's it.
Which makes no sense.
No. What I'd like to see them do is like they need some actual infantry style squads. So if you really want to have the detachment of the Red Angel and the detachment of the World Leaders, it's not just Angron and 8th Bound, or Karn and a dude and a bunch of berserkers. They need to bring us better Terminators. They need to give us what are they called? There's a jump infantry or a squad they used to have called the Rampager squads. And they were just like a small marine who could use a variety of specialist style weapons from the arena, and they actually had the option to take a jump pack or a heavy chainsword. It would solve some of the issues of them having like no jump infantry, having a cool like quote unquote chosen squad.
I mean, I feel like the 8-bound are weirdly occupying too many roles.
They are. They really are. They're holding the role of
need...
Scout, they're holding the role of Terminator, they're holding the role of Possessed, they're holding like 3 or 4 roles in one.
Yeah. But yeah, some kind of like... I mean, none of the other legions have like a chosen equivalent.
Nope.
So that's probably not going to happen.
Probably not.
Soon. Because like if... You kind of have to say like Death Guard has the biggest lineup. So if it doesn't fit into Death Guard, you're probably hard pressed to see it happening anywhere else yet. But yeah, a Terminator equivalent, characters for 8-bound, and a mounted unit for the Juggernaut.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, like an actual...
Is like, those are kind of your like 3 have-to-haves, I think. And then like a Blood Priest for Berserkers and the Jackals.
The Berserkers need something to get across the table faster, so Juggernauts or Bikes would be like astounding for them. Because they're not going to get...
I feel like Bikes are more Emperor's Children-y.
I see that.
If they're going to revamp Bikes, they're going to do it with Emperor's Children.
And that's the trade-off I have, because I can see both of them using Bikes or jump packs, one or the other. Honestly, I see the Emperor's Children using more jump packs than Bikes. I feel just like for how the reputation a motorcycle has versus the jump pack. But then again, they're Emperor's Children. It's loud and noisy, so who knows?
See, this is the thing. It's weirdly, I think the Bikes have more Slanesh association, because the World Eaters tend to be more of a we just run at you.
Yeah, so jump packs do actually. Yeah, you're right. Jump packs would make a lot more sense for the World Eaters.
Because like Bikes have guns on them.
Ooh,
World Eaters don't care about guns.
Bring back the Destroyer squads, like just dudes with double pistols in their hands, like double plasma pistols.
Just blow themselves up.
Yeah, they would have double plasma pistols and maybe a combat weapon and a jump pack, and that's all they would do is fly around, just tiny versions of not aggressors but intercessors.
Yeah. Yes. Any last thoughts before we wrap up?
No, I'm good. I'm actually pretty excited to dig into these Marines and figure out what I can do. And my last thoughts. I need to throw paint on stuff like now.
I think, I think there's going to be some fun to be had. I think.
Oh yes.
There's some power in there. I have a feeling some of this stuff is going to get smacked out. We don't know points yet, so that's kind of the big caveat of like we don't know how powerful anything is because if some of these enhancements are 40 points, then
that kind of throws a
they're-
lot of it out the window.
So we don't know exactly where this is going to fall, but I have a feeling there's going to be a bit of a reckoning for like the Black Legion one. It's strong.
Yeah. Do you think we're gonna get any other new models for the line, or that's it? Probably not.
I have a feeling there's so much new chaos coming.
That's fair.
Like this Codex makes Vashtor. It's like a model they released a year ago is finally viable now.
Yeah, he's finally actually, you can use Vashtor and it like he'll do some stuff.
Like that detachment just for Vashtor, I feel like was very necessary. It brings a whole ton of stuff back into play. So I honestly think like, did you think we were going to talk about Defilers today? Or a Corn Lord of Skulls? Because
No.
I wasn't expecting it, but there's play in a couple of those detachments for those.
There's a lot of units that I did not expect us to be talking about that were actually like viable and could do things.
Like, I like Mauler Fiends because I think they're like fun and silly to play with, but like the Vashtor one, like they could be disgustingly.
They could. Like Vashtor, all I'm thinking is Venom Crawlers, Forge Fiends, Mauler Fiends, and Defilers. Just an entire army of that coming at you sounds amazing.
Yeah, like +1 to wound Venom Crawlers with 12 shots is, well, it'll eat Terminators.
Yep.
Or any type of Marines.
You just take Vashtor with a few Warp Smiths, have them run around the table healing whatever they can. Oof.
Yeah, well, and that's, you can give 1 +4 movement, so it's actually accomplishing something.
Disco
you know
Lord.
what I mean? So it can actually like, those might actually work.
God, about the Disco Lord, that actually might come back.
They might actually be viable in that attack, or the Iron Warriors one.
I think for both.
The problem is right now they kind of get shot off the table. Even the Iron Warriors one, Hell Brutes. Because that gives you the lethal hits and the sustained hits.
Yeah.
But another one of the things they struggle with is just getting shot off the table. So
now it's going to be harder to move a Iron Warrior Hellbrute. I got 2 of them. I wouldn't mind trying out. Give them like maybe rough range weapon, a fist or a weapon of some kind. Have them just like trudge across the battlefield and hit whatever they come up against.
Well, even the multi-melt on them is not bad.
Yeah.
And like the hammer is pretty destructive as it is.
Yeah, the hammer's nice.
So being able to be like, here's my 3 Vindicators that all have sustained hits and lethal hits on 6s because of this Hellbrute. That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good. Yeah, because I don't know if they'll keep the ability, but if I remember correctly, you just got both the abilities if you were in range of that thing.
I think they are keeping that.
Sick.
So that's what I mean. So you're getting them on 6s because unless you go in the pack-bound route, but again, your Vindicators are all actually survivable again.
You know what, yo?
Because one of the struggles.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, one of the struggles with all the CSM tanks is they're tough 10. But in Iron Warriors, like that, the Fellhammer Siege Host, they're going to be surviving.
Yeah, they actually will survive the fight. I really want to try this out. This sounds like, man, these sound fun. Oh, they sound so much fun.
Your the Predator Annihilator is relevant again. Yeah, because it won't just like explode instantly, like it currently does.
This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to trying these out.
Yeah,
and that's saying a lot coming from me.
I think it's going to be a good time. I think there's going to be. I think the fun thing is going to be you're going to be sitting there being like, I'm going to make a list, and you're going to have to just kind of like whatever you're going to be able to make whatever you want work.
Yeah, whatever flavor I feel like. Instead of I have to take this, and then fill in the rest.
Yeah, and I think that's what like when I say like Terminators are back, because right now Terminators are kind of dicey because they don't work very well in the current index. But like there's 3 or 4 of these attachments that we were like, Terminators are back.
Yeah,
Terminators are back, and Terminators are spicy.
It sounds like they're going to be good with all of them from the sound of things. Like they'll be, oh god, it's going to be so nice.
And like Legionaries are viable in a lot of these because they're just able to do whatever they need to do. The Cultist one is going to be, if you're a Cultist person, like I don't know how it's going to work, but you're going to have 300 models on the table.
Have fun. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. I will try that out. I will definitely try that out.
Right. And on that note, I want to thank you all for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe to Chaos Divided wherever you're listening from. You can find us on Instagram and YouTube at Chaos Divided 40K. If you're a fan of what we're doing, you want to join our growing Wholesome Hammer community, get access to the Patreon, the Discord, some of these narrative missions we're working on.
Hell yeah.
Check it all out. Help support the show. And if you'd like to connect with us directly, we're at Team Blood God, at Nurgle_Snurgle, and at Flushing Noise Marine on Instagram and YouTube. And until next time, bye-bye.
Hit the jazz music, everybody. Have a great night. Bye.